Alright, hey guys, we're going to do a Magix and Alesis Multimix 8 USB FX tutorial today. I discovered a bug issue this week when I made my purchase, and I have been dealing with tech support for last week to no avail, and discovered it was a software malfunction. So I'm going to walk you through the steps to install your Alesis Multimix 8 USB FX. To ensure that it's done properly, as the Alesis manual has a couple things in it that I noticed were slightly wrong in order for it to work with my Windows 7 and my DAW, which is Magix Music Maker 2020 Premium Edition. So first thing, we're going to go into our start menu, go to the control panel. We're going to go into hardware, and we're going to go into sound. Once you get into sound, you can close out the main control panel. You'll see I've already got mine installed, so I've already gone through and set these, but you'll go through and you will select your newest device that's been added if you have multiple devices active at the time, to discover which one is your Multimix 8 USB FX. When you do, double click on it and go into your settings, and then the instructions tell you to set your levels at 4, but I recommend you leave them where they are until you go into your particular setup and set it to your preferred level, as each computer may be just a little bit different. And you go over here to the advanced, make sure it's at 16-bit 44.1 Hertz, and then uncheck both boxes and hit apply and OK. Then we're going to repeat this on the recording setup. Again, find it, make sure that you know which one is your Alesis system. Double click and pull up your settings. Again, you can go over here to levels, as it says in the manufacturer's instructions for Alesis, and you're supposed to lower it to 4, but like I said, with mine 4 was just way too low, so you can make your own choice on what audio level you have it set at. Again, go over to advanced, make sure that you're set to 2 channel 16-bit 44.1, and again, uncheck both boxes, hit apply and OK. The reason I say do this on both is because the instructions on Alesis tell you to only do this once. When I first logged into Music Maker 2020 doing the Alesis instructions, it would not allow me to use it because it was set to not be controlled by itself. So now once you get those settings done and you're good to go, you can exit out of that, hit OK, and then when you're done with both settings, go in and set both of them to the default communication device. Not just default device, default communication device, because this is going to allow your mixer to interact with your USB of the computer to send and receive signal. Then you can go into your DAW. Alright, once Music Maker opens, close out your start menu, go into your settings menu at the top of the screen, the little gears, go over to audio and MIDI settings, and you'll see your drivers on the left. You have the choice of Wave, Direct Sound, ACO, and Wasabi. Now, your Magix should be loaded with the Magix low latency driver already on the ACO. But as I said, if you have any issues or anything, you can always use the ACO for all driver as well. Now, the issue here is starting out with the main settings. We'll go into the advanced to verify that the mixer is showing up, which it is, and though the primary button it shows off for the built-in speakers and microphone shows it's off, I still like to choose to shut off the others just to be sure, so the only thing showing active is the mixer. Close that out, go over here and click OK, and then make sure on your object settings that you set the record to audio recording, because it starts out at MIDI as default. Then go into your record options. This will show your peak meter and other finalizing options that you can do for your recording. And at the moment you see it's not picking up anything in the background because we shut off the internal mic. And I have a Samsung J7 plugged into a 3.5 to RCA, plugged into the 2-track in on the Alesis Multimix. Then I have my headphones plugged into the Multimix as well, into the headphones jack on the right hand side for the monitor. You'll notice that the Alesis instructions say to have the 2-track to USB to monitor pressed in so you can hear it into your headphones, and it should also transmit to the computer. However, I have noticed with mine that you must have the 2-track to USB to main also pressed in order for it to actually transmit to the computer. The 2-track to monitor only allows you to hear in your headphones. That is a bug within the software of the Alesis Multimix. Now you will see here I'm going to turn on audio on the phone so we have something for audio to verify that we're connected and operating as we're supposed to. You can hear that now playing through the headphones and showing on the peak meter. And I own the rights to this particular song playing in the background, so there is no copyright infringement or anything to worry about, as this is one of my own tunes created with Music Maker. Okay, now we'll pause the playback of the audio and we will close out the recording options. Then we will again start the audio and hit the record button. As you see, the waveform is showing that there is audio playing through. You can also adjust the volume on your mixer to turn up or turn down the audio that is going into the mixer. We'll now stop the recording and stop the playback of the music. Now, with the Alesis Multimix 8 USB FX, you are supposed to be able to not only hear the playback of the DAW as you're working and using it to mix or do live broadcasting, but you're also supposed to be able to play back the recording upon finishing it through the same equipment to verify that you have everything to your liking. Now, however, you will notice here, I will demonstrate currently after doing the recording that we're good to go for playback. We push play using the space bar, and you'll see that the track is being played as it signals here by the ticker moving, but there's no audio playing through the headphones. As you can hear, there's nothing in the background. However, we can pause the playback and go over here to the samples in Music Maker, and you will hear that they're playing through fine. Now, what does this mean? We'll stop the playback of the samples, and again I will show you by pushing play that the recording does not play back. I determined that maybe this was a driver issue, so I decided that I was going to fiddle with the settings before I got a hold of tech support. So what I did was go into the gear, your primary settings, go over to the audio and MIDI settings, and then I decided that I would try the ACO for all. And then hit OK, and again we push play and still nothing. And again, back to the samples. You'll notice between the two ACO drivers there is a slight difference in the tone of the sample playback. Not much, but a very mild difference in the tone. So I again decided to try a different driver, and as you will see here, I will select the wave driver, which selects the main driver within your computer, whether you're using a sound card or not. Hit OK. No. There. Try using the wave and it tells you you can't. It's already busy. So then you go back into your settings again and attempt with the direct sound, and my computer has a virtual 5.1 surround feature built into it for the stereo, and at the particular moment I don't need it, so I'm not going to turn that feature on. And again, you'll see here that it failed to create. So go back into it one more time and we go down to the Wasabi driver, which you notice it says none, and I attempt to click on the ACO for all, or the Magix for the Alesis, and it will not let me select. You try leaving it at none, and it tells you it's going back to the ACO. Which it doesn't go back to the ACO, it actually goes back to the direct sound because it's the one that you had selected last. So you can go back up to your ACO driver and you can use ACO for all or Magix low latency. Click OK. Now this is where the bug in the software comes in. As you will notice, we played through the audio from the phone through the mixer to the computer just fine. As you've seen, it picked up on the peak meter, and again it shows here in the waveform that we're trying to play here. You'll also notice that it played through the samples just fine. Playing through the mixer, you can also select a sample to play simultaneously with the recording, and again attempt it, and you will get the sample, but you will not get the recording that you attempted earlier. So you can delete the addition, and then this is the part that really screws me up, because I got a hold of tech support for Magix, and I sent in a ticket request, and Ralph at Magix told me to run through the drivers just as I've shown you here, and to further verify and double check the default settings and audio level settings within the hardware sound management, and to no avail. For the last week I have not been able to get it to work. And then last night I decided I was going to uninstall and reinstall the USB drivers onto the computer, just thinking maybe something might be faulty within the computer drive to not allow one portion and allow the other. And after attempting that and still having the same result, I decided to attempt this, which is to save the project that you had just recorded, and I'm going to name this one Audio Test Recording. And then we will go to a new project, go to load a project, reopen the project we just ran a moment ago, and as you will see here, this is the same project we just had a moment ago attempting to record, but for some reason Magix will not allow you to do an automatic playback of the recording. You must save it, close it, and reopen it in order for the playback to work. This is a bug within the Music Maker 2020 Premium Edition, and I have advised the tech support, and hopefully we will be getting an update to remedy this bug in the near future. As you know, with new programs coming out, they have multiple bug fixes that need to be done, and we've already gone through approximately 30 small updates within the last 2 months that I've had it. And this is yet another one that will most likely be updated here in the near future. I hope this little tutorial on how to set up and verify your recording was helpful.